September, yes, this is the worst that it's ever been. What we believe to have happened is the ice, of course, it stopped up at the lake mouth, and then it just backs up to us. We were bridged under the bridge, so it came just through, and it happened within hours. I was here, I think it was Thursday morning, to check, and everything was fine, and then by Friday morning we were flooded. If it was just water, it wouldn't be so bad, but because of the ice and then it brings debris with it, you can see different places there's just pieces of trees, and that carries through with the water, so we don't have a field that isn't damaged in some way. Most of the fields have fences taken out because the ice and debris just were pushed through and nothing was stopping them. Everywhere you look, there's ice. Some are chunks this thick. Looking at this field, there are places that you could go right through and others that are solid. It's just a mix of things, so we really won't know what kind of damage there is until this is melted. There could be tree trunks, there could be garbage, that's just brought in and left by the creek.
What are you doing now as far as recovery?
Well, one of the things that happened was it washed our road out because the creek, when it came through, it kind of followed the road right around the concession stand and right down our Harry Church Drive, and then straight through the high school boys fence. So we had just put down, I don't know how many truckloads of gravel, and it was all washed somewhere, so we had some more. So that's the first thing we're doing, is trying to make sure that the roadway is secure so we can have volunteers come down to help us out. We've reached out to everybody we can think of to get some assistance. A lot of it is going to be manpower. There's just so much debris to pick up and then to evaluate where we're at. Luckily, the garage wasn't damaged too bad. There was some water. The equipment that was in there is okay.
There's a lot of fencing, and fence is expensive.
Yes. Thank God for Thomas Fence. They have reached out to us, and they're going to help us out. If I had to guess, there has to be at least 1,000 feet of fencing that needs replaced. As a guess, and that's not that's fencing. That's not including poles. I don't know which poles are going to be salvageable. The water in some places took out fences that were cemented in, carried them like they were a stick. The girls' fence on the high school field is laying up against the third base line, is laying up against the boys' high school field. The boys' high school outfield fence is taken almost into the infield. It's just extremely destructive. Like I said, I've never seen it this bad, and my dad was here for 60 years, and the last time I can remember the ice backed up like this was sometime in the 80s, but even that didn't cause this much destruction.
Now, your dad's, it was Harry Church.
Yeah.
So you're kind of carrying on his legacy here, because he was, in his older years, he was down here mowing and working all the time.
Yeah. I'm trying to keep up, not just with his legacy, but so there's some place for our kids and my grandkids now to participate and have a safe place to go.
So there is baseball, softball, soccer down here.
Right. We also sponsor football and cheerleading.
So the fact that Conneaut Creek is here means you're going to have some problems every once in a while.
Yeah.
But and it's like I hear every 7 to 10 years is.
The last time I remember it being flooded to any problem was I think in 2012, 11 or 12. So it's been about 10 years.
But nothing like this.
Nothing like this, no.
Who is volunteering?
Well, community people came down to get the equipment out to take it up to our house. Unfortunately, I don't know all the gentlemen that were here to help us out with that. We've had quite a few people that have reached out. We have a GoFundMe page. We have.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what normally funds the maintenance of this complex?
A lot of the community, like the Moose, the Legion, they give us donations quarterly.
But there's no government, no park board, no nothing like that helps?
No, we have a CLYO board. We're all volunteer.
So when something like this happens, it's just, you're zero as far as financing it, initially at least.
Right. We do have a little bit of money saved up because we do all of the work ourselves.
Right.
So the registration that we charge for the kids, most of it goes towards equipment, field maintenance. So, we have a little bit built up. So we have some reserves, but nowhere near what it's going to cost to fix these things.
So I saw there's a GoFundMe. What is it, $10,000 goal? Is that just an arbitrary figure?
Yeah, that was just a number that was thrown out there. Like I said, because we don't know what's under the ice, we have no idea what kind of damage there is. Like the high school girls field, the field itself doesn't look terrible, but they don't have a first and third base fence. No idea what's under here, but I do know walking around that pitcher's mound, which is a pitcher's rubber, and then it's on like 5 blocks of wood, and they're different proportions, so it's sturdy. Is at home plate fence. It was just ripped up out of the ground and carried to the fence.
I think the most interesting thing I saw over there is a giant fish.
Yeah, that's about a 2-foot long steelhead.
Just came up with the creek.
Yeah, I'm surprised that's the only one I've seen so far, but they could be somewhere under the ice.
So are you planning like a cleanup day or?
Yes, actually March 5th is going to be a cleanup day, weather pending. Hopefully by that time we'll have gathered enough funds and resources that whatever we need we will have and be able to get done. Like I said, a lot of it is just getting the debris out to see where we're at, what kind of damage there is. Things that we can see obviously are the fences, but
what's underneath?
What's underneath the ice, yeah.
So there have been questions before, I believe, it's because of damage. Is it going to be ready for high school baseball and softball? And it always was, but the extent of damage here, it really is a question this time, right?
It is, because their first game, I believe, is like April 28th. March 28th.
Okay, yeah.
March 28th, yeah, sorry. Like I said, the field itself isn't terrible. We could get the field in shape, but the fencing isn't there. And the boys' high school field, that's the questionable one, because there's so much ice. It is waist high to me.
Yeah.
And no idea what's underneath it. I do know that we put dirt down last year on the ball field, and a lot of it was washed away. Well, we just have to wait and see.
So is it discouraging?
Yeah.
2 steps forward and a couple steps back? Or?
Yeah. We've been very lucky that the creek hasn't flooded. We keep trying to keep an eye on it. A lot of times if we have extra, like we took down a building, so we put cement block along the creek trying to help stave that off. Because it's
But so the cleanup day, reconstruction day, what day is that again?
March 5th.
And so is that, does anybody show up at 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock?
Yeah, I think we're going to try to get things started at 9 o'clock. Anyone that's willing to come down, bring a shovel, bring gloves, bring waterproof boots. You know, we have no idea what the day is going to be like. According to the weather, it's supposed to be somewhat decent. Hopefully a lot of this will be melted so we have an idea of what it is. If you have a wheelbarrow, bring that. We'll take any help that we can get.